All right, everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Samir Search for Guru. And once again, I have the brother, Yitshaq Abraham, with us. And today's subject, our topic is how
Yes,
far
yes.
succeed. And real quick, I'm not going to give the full intro, but Yitshaq is the brother. You know how you guys email me and say, Dynas, you have inspired me to go to Africa and explore Africa. And instead of going to Europe, go to Africa. Dynas, you inspired me to learn more about my roots in Africa. Well, Yitshaq's the brother that inspired me. So Yitshaq, go ahead and take it away. I just had to get that out there.
Man, I appreciate you, Donis. I appreciate, as always, I appreciate you. And I appreciate the forum. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak to people. I do not take that for granted. It was so interesting that the topic that you wanted to talk on today. Yeah.
Hold on for like 10 seconds. I just want to switch the internet real quick so it might freeze up. So
Okay.
hold on 1 second.
Okay, no problem. No problem. No, take your time, bro.
Go ahead.
Okay, great. So like I was saying before, I appreciate the forum. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you and, to the people that you have garnished together to be able to, to like-minded people that want to come together and to think about ways to be able to change their life. It's so interesting. So right now I'm not in Southern California where I was talking to you the last time. Right now I'm on the road. I'm in San Francisco. I'm close to your hometown, Sacktown. And what takes me all the way out here, and that's why it was like that topic just tied right into all of the things that was going on. Like I spoke of the last time, I'm doing this financial services business. I'm helping people understand their money in ways that I did not understand my money myself. But the interesting thing was I always had inside of me the drive to go the distance. And I mean, go further than other people to get what it is that I was looking for. When I first started working in the medical field, I started working in Macon, Georgia, making $13 an hour. Coming out of school, 2 years in school, getting a degree, and making $13 an hour. And I said to myself, that was not going to do it for me. But, unlike a lot of other people who were working in that same town, who had the same degree that I did research to understand what I needed to do to be able to get what I felt I deserved. So I went on the road. I went back to my hometown to New York, and I started working in a larger hospital in New York, but as a traveler, not working for a hospital, but working as an independent contractor on my own, seeking out the highest bidder. So I took my skills on the road and I gave it to the highest person that was willing to give me what I felt I was worth. I just transferred that same skill over to what I'm doing right now. So I'm in Southern California. I got a team that I built in Southern California, but I'm right on the cusp of getting a broker's promotion in the company that I'm in and being able to open up some other offices myself. So I was feeling like I was stuck in the mud. So what did I do? I went right back to those same roots that I had before, and I got outside of my comfort zone and I went on the road. There's a gentleman, his name is Eric Olson in our company, who just got to his $5 million mark in our company, passive income. And I said, I want to go and talk to this guy. I want to go and get some of the information, some of the jewels that he has to be able to share it with me and to apply these things into my business. So I got in the car and I got on the road and I drove 358 miles to San Francisco. And I went to a training class that he was training in last night. And then tonight, his second, in his business, I'm going to a training class that he gave. And this is all out of my own dime. But because I feel that, who better to give you the information that you need to be able to succeed, but somebody who's doing it themselves. Somebody that can give you the know-how, the knack, that give you the fast start to excel you past where you're at. So I decided to come out on the road and to have the teacher get a teacher. Can you hear me, Donis? Okay, so what I was saying to myself was, what do I need to do to be able to really get this information? So what I felt was, there's a lot of times in people's lives where, you know, they feel like they're stuck in the mud. They feel like things are not going their way. They feel like, you know, the information that they're looking for, they don't have readily access to it. But I'll tell you, the worst thing that you can do is to think in your mind that you do not have the tools that you need. Just understand that everything that you're doing in your life, somebody else is doing it. Somebody else has blazed the trail. It doesn't matter what profession you're in, doesn't matter what you're doing. Somebody else has done it before you. But the question that you have to ask yourself is, how far are you willing to go to be able to get that information that you need to be able to succeed? And I was willing to get on the road and to go get that information. So, you know, I took the opportunity to be able to go and get this information, but just getting the information is not going to do it for me, and it won't do it for you either. The information is the first step, but applying the information is the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, you know, just having knowledge, just having the know-how to do something does not do anything. Just like I said earlier, you know, I started out working in the hospital in a small town that wasn't paying a lot of money, but I had the same skills that somebody working in a bigger place was getting paid more money and having the opportunity to do a lot more things. So what I felt for myself was to be able to really get exactly what I needed. I needed to be able to go far. I needed to be able to go far outside my comfort zone. And that could come in different ways. You know, your comfort zone is doing different things that you don't normally, you know, feel yourself like something that you might be comfortable doing. You know, talking to different people. Like I'm in a sales business. You know, I know a lot of people don't like the word sales because they feel that, you know, it's difficult or hard or anything of that nature. But I'll tell you one thing that I talk to a lot of my agents that work with me, the importance of you just understanding that the worst thing that can happen is a person to say no to you. That's it. There's no big, you know, there's no monster underneath the bed that's going to get you or any of that stuff of that nature. You know, the only thing that you have to fear is the way that you feel about somebody telling you no. And if you can get over that, then you can get to the point where you can have success. You know, you can have the success that other people have that you want to be able to have. To the people that you idolize, to the people that you look at and you say to yourself, man, I want that person's life. I want to be able to live like that person. I want to be able to drive the car that they drive. I want to be able to have the house that they have. Well, the only way that you're going to be able to have those things is if you're willing to go the distance like that person did to be able to get to where they're at. Because, you know, overnight success did not happen overnight. You have to put in the reps. You have to put in the time. You have to put in everything that it's going to take, because, hey, success, you have to pay for success up front and in full. That means it's not going to happen just by you doing it one time. It's not going to happen just by you doing it two times. It's going to be the constant, repetitive, you know, banging on your craft, getting out of your comfort zone, doing what it is that you need to do to be successful. You know, so, you know, I think the one thing that keeps people, a lot of people, from going that extra mile is the uncertainty. You know, when they think to themselves, well, you know, I've never done this before, so I don't know if I'm going to be successful, or, you know, nobody taught me how to do these things. You know, you have to say to yourself, you got to be bold. You know, you gotta venture outside of the norm, and you're gonna have to become somebody else. You know, I borrow personalities. I borrow energy. I borrow, you know, like there's a gentleman right now that I'm taking a training class with. His name is Razaki Hilt. If you go online, you can see him on Facebook. He does a lot of LinkedIn and Facebook trainings. This brother Razaki does a lot of different things to be able to show you how to be able to get the most out of your internet use, your marketing, branding yourself on the internet. You know, so this brother is very meticulous in the way that he does presentations. So I just started borrowing some of his attitudes. I started borrowing some of the things that he said. And the most important thing that he was talking about was your excitement level. You be excited, because people are not going to follow a drab, boring, you know, person that you can have all the information in the world. But if your energy level is low, a person's going to be listening to the words that you're saying, but they're not going to be feeling your energy.
Absolutely. And Yitshaq, sorry about that. I had to take that call, man. That was the Nigerian embassy here in Atlanta, man. Just goodness, man. I swear, visa to go to Nigeria, bro. Golly, man. I'm going to Nigeria in August. I swear,
All
their
right.
visa process,
All right.
man, Yitshaq, their visa process, goodness. It's like I
Oh,
gotta
it's monstrous, huh?
monsters, man. I gotta get an ECOWAS passport, man. I have to.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
without a shadow of a doubt.
Goodness, man. God. Yeah,
They
so
gonna make you jump through the hoops, man.
goodness. So yeah, so everybody, I apologize about being on the phone, but that was the Nigerian embassy, and I had to take that call because they were talking about I needed some more documents just to get my visa, but I think we got it all situated finally. So, all right, brother.
I got you.
I apologize about that, but everybody who's coming
problem.
into the chat room, make sure you hit that like button again. We have this very dynamic brother, my brother, Yitshaq Abraham, who knew me when I was sleeping on a mattress in a studio apartment in a Korea.
We telling everything, huh?
yeah. We got. I mean, it's only
yeah. We got to give them the real. We got to give them the real. That's right.
Fair. We got to be transparent in 2000.
That's right. That's right. Top ramen. We got to be transparent.
You know, hey, Yitshaq, man, can I borrow $20, man? Shit.
Yeah. That's it.
Here go 50 diners. You know.
Yeah. That's how we do, though. That's how we do for each other. Listen, when I was making it happen and I came out there to Atlanta, Georgia, who do you think I called up? I called up my brother Dynas, man. And without a shadow of a doubt, you know, he opened his home to me. And I tell you, that's brotherhood. You know, a lot of people say to themselves, you know, I got brothers, you know, this is my brother, you know, me and this person is tight, you know, we go way back. But, you know, you call a brother up, like you were saying, and be like, hey, man, you know, I'm hitting on hard times. Things ain't going too well. I need your help. They'd be like, oh, man, you know, ain't nothing I can do for you, man. You know, but you know you're true brothers when things aren't going your way.
Yeah,
because you can always call them.
I remember you sent the money Western Union, and I remember in Koreatown walking up to the Korean market to collect that $50, man. It was like it was Christmas.
There it is.
It was Christmas going to collect that $50. Yeah, okay. Here, the real Aaron Collins. I think I've seen this guy Yitshaq before. Is he here in LA? He is in LA, Aaron Collins.
That I am. I am in LA. Yeah, I am in LA, Aaron. Where do we know each other from? Because you know I'm all over LA, so I'm burning up the streets in LA, man. So you know, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Facebook, Aaron. Let's get together. You know, I'm actively looking for new agents right now. I'm looking for new people to be able to share this information that I have, to be able to directly mentor and show you how to get to your goals. Look, just like Donna said, you know, I'm not trying to hold the secrets in. I'm not trying to keep people from knowing what they need to do to be successful. I want to be your mentor. I want to be the person that shows you how to be able to get to your goals and dreams and make it in the shortest period of time possible. I want to be able to show you how to do the things that somebody showed me how to do. I want to pay it forward to you and be that mentor that gives you the direct guidance to show you what you need to do to live your life the way that you want to, and the way that you want to, not the way that I want to. I'm gonna show you how to live your life in the way that you want to.
He says, I believe I met you at a Prime America event.
No, you didn't meet me at a Prime America event. You might have met me at a Trans America event.
There you go. Got him confused.
Yeah, there you go.
Got him confused.
No, sometimes it happens. It happens. That's it. Yeah, with a T, with a P, you know, it happens.
Same difference.
Yeah, it's a different difference, but different, but tomatoes. You know, yeah. You know, I took that road trip down this, man. You know what I did earlier today? And this is the other thing about taking control of your life, man. So, you know, I'm a spa-aholic. I love the spa. So I love the Korean spas, the day spas that you can go in, do the soak in, do the steam room, the saunas and different things of that nature. So in between San Jose and San Francisco, there's a day spa that I just pulled up, the Korean day spa, pulled in. It was about, about halfway in between the distance. Man, fantastic. Where the mountains and almost by the ocean and stuff is. Man, it was great. I pulled there for about 2 hours soak, you know, and then now I'm right in San Francisco. I'm about to go to barbershop right after I get off here with you. But you know, I could never do that when I was working at the hospital. I could never take that time to take care of myself. And, you know, I always had to create opportunities around the work schedule, you know. So there's high points of being an entrepreneur too, when you take back control of your time.
That's powerful. That's powerful,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
So let's do this from a black perspective.
Okay. Okay.
Me personally, Yitshaq, I just think black people in LA are in a state of emergency.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not politically correct, but there's a lot of black politicians in LA. But one in particular,
Sure.
last name rhymes with Sauters. Who I think is uh, Watchers. I think that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, right,
But,
right,
I just
right,
don't
right.
want to implicate you in anything you're shocked because you know me, I'm politically.
Oh, look. So let me just tell you, man. Look, I have no affiliation. It
Okay,
doesn't matter to me, you know. But I'm gonna tell you, she's not the only one. You know,
right.
there's other people. There's other people who have the black face,
Mm-hmm. Muddy
but
Waters. Yeah,
at,
somebody
yeah,
said Muddy Waters.
yeah, Muddy Waters. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
Muddy Waters.
Who have the black face? You know, the rhymes with Robin Givens. You know, that's another one. That's another one. Who has the black face? Who talk the black issues, but when it comes down to educating and making sure that people have the way to get outside of this rat race,
Right.
they're not doing it. Hey, I'll tell you one thing that I know it's definitely true. You can go into the areas that they represent,
They're all
and
they're,
then
oh,
you can say,
let me cut you off real quick. I hate to cut you off, but I'm just gonna
no,
guess
go
to
ahead.
put it out there. The areas they represent, they're no longer
Uh-huh.
predominantly black.
Uh-huh.
Black people are pretty much the bottom of the totem pole.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
predominantly Latino.
Uh-huh.
These areas, and I would say that these leaders are
Yeah,
not addressing the true needs of black people because black people in LA
sure.
are in a state of emergency.
Sure. Here's what happens, Donis.
Go
So
ahead.
until gentrification takes place, it's a vacuum. It's a food vacuum. It's a cultural vacuum. It's a vacuum of, uh, big businesses and different things that bring stuff to the community that can, in turn, help people to be able to create the things for themselves. You know, the business loans that they talk about giving, they don't give it to the black people in the community to be able to create businesses that's viable, that are necessary for the community that they live in. But they do give the contracts to, like, the stadium that they're building right now in Inglewood. You
Right.
know, they give the contract to big businesses like that. Guess what's coming now? The hotels are coming to Inglewood. Guess what's
Okay.
coming now? They bought out all of the homes in the area from the people who owned the homes. And now, when you look back at Inglewood, coming up 2 years after they finish this stadium, you're gonna see $1 million homes. But you won't
Right.
see any of our faces inside of those homes. Like I said, it's the same thing like they did in Harlem. It's the same exact thing. You know, they had all of the brownstones, they had all of these buildings, all of these things out there, that we could have bought for pennies on the dollar, and renovated these places and created, our areys. But that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen
But
because it's not made to be so.
you know what's crazy? What's crazy, Yishak, is, and I'm getting a little bit political, then we get back on topic because I think this is important.
Yeah.
As the black numbers or the black population in LA shrinks, that courthouse on Hill Street, that line, which is wrapped around the building as
Mm-hmm.
early as eight
Mm-hmm.
o'clock in the morning, is
Yes.
predominantly black.
Yep.
But, and I'm getting political, an illegal alien cannot be touched no matter what for the most part these days in sanctuary cities. And it's just
Well,
sad, Yashak, how the descendants of the slave trade, okay, don't have sanctuary city status in the cities that we built, but people who are just coming illegally have more rights now.
I'll tell you. Look, it stems right back to what you were talking about earlier. It's the politicians.
Mhm.
So the representation in the areas that you live in, the politicians that represent you in the areas that you live in are supposed to do what? They're supposed to look at the issues that apply to you, and they're supposed to come up with solutions for those issues that apply to your neighborhood. So if they're coming up with solutions that apply to other neighborhoods, then they're not giving correct representation. Why do you think the Latino politicians who are in the community are creating different things for the illegal aliens that are in Los Angeles? They're doing that because they're providing solutions to the problems of the people that's in their community. They're not even providing solutions for the constituents, because the constituents, the people that are illegal aliens, cannot vote, so they're not really their constituents. But they are providing solutions for the people in their neighborhood. I don't hate on them. I'm saying if you put a person into office and then they do not represent the issues that you have going on in your community, there's a simple solution to it. You don't vote them back in office. But what happens a lot of times with a lot of these different politicians is they do that black guilt. Right. And they try to make black people feel guilty and saying, you got to have a black person in office because, you know, you need to have me to represent you. Because if you have somebody else in office, they're not going to represent you. I say that's not always the case. And we see that to be true because how much representation has the business owners had inside of those communities, from Maxine Dancing Waters.
Right.
Maxine Running Waters.
Waters, goodness.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I'm gonna let it go, and then we'll get back on topic. I remember Yitshaq, me and you, well, I don't want to implicate you, but we were at an event before I left LA. You remember that?
I do remember. Yeah.
And she got up and spoke.
Yes, that I did.
She was talking that hardcore black.
Yeah.
Hardcore black.
Oh, sure. Yep, that's right.
And I'm just like, wow. I wish I.
But you know what that does, though? All it does is it speaks to the base to get them to go out and vote for you. And then once you get back into office, you can douse that flame right on down. You douse the flame right down. Mm-hmm. But that's the case. The case is, I make the case that you have to provide the solutions for yourself. Don't expect these politicians to provide solutions for you and your family. That's not going to do it. You're going to have to provide them solutions for yourself.
Right.
I'd rather you depend on somebody who's doing what it is that you want to do, and then you depend on your own engine to get it done. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to happen any other way.
All right, so brother, let's we got you on, brother. So we gotta maximize your time.
All right, yeah, definitely so. Because I'm I got to go to the barbershop and get this thing taken care of. I've been on the road so much, man, that I'm the barbershop. I don't even. What's so funny? I did a lunch and learn at the barbershop before I left Los Angeles, and I was so busy I didn't even have an opportunity to get a haircut. But what I did do was educate the barbers about how to be able to have a business model that would be able to have them pay less taxes, which they were not doing, because they were still filing taxes as an individual, and they have a business. You see what I'm saying? And then his barbers thought they were 1099 employees when they wasn't 1099 at all. They wasn't independent contractors. They have their own business because the barbershop doesn't pay them. So they didn't even understand that they needed their own separate business license outside of the barber, because they're not 1099. The barber doesn't pay them. So, there's a lot of people, business owners, there's a lot of business owners out there that don't understand their dynamics of their business. And they're paying a lot, and they don't even know that the tax laws have changed. They don't even know that the service, business owners that are service business owners, like doctors, lawyers, financial advisors like myself, people that are doing service work, these tax laws change. It's totally different now.
Mm.
The write-offs that you could write off before, a lot of those things you're not going to be able to write off, depending on how much money you make, depending on whether you're married or single. You know, I mean, all of these things are playing a factor in nowadays.
Wow, wow. Yitshaq, I mean, just continue into your story, man. It's very dynamic. How you got to where you're at, and I know you're
Yeah,
wanting to be promoted, and you know you're up for promotion, but just
yeah,
tell
yeah. So,
the story, the trials, and you know.
well, I'll tell you. So I was working in the hospital, like I finished off the last time. I thank you very much for letting me to come back on and kind of continue the
Oh, anytime.
story. You know,
Yeah, I
continue
gotta
the
let you
journey.
back on. Yitshaq, if it wasn't for you sparking me, I would have none of this.
Man, so I'm so appreciative.
Yeah.
So the time that I was working at the hospital, like I said, the last thing one of the doctors said to me in the hospital was, the patients don't come here to see you. So I said to myself, well, then I got to go somewhere where people come to see me. But
Right.
more importantly, I couldn't just go somewhere without having the information.
Right.
So the great thing that I had an opportunity to do was I got the opportunity to leverage someone else.
Well,
That
hold on,
means,
hold on.
go ahead.
Step back. I got to step back for a second. So the
Okay.
doctor looked you in your eye and pretty much told you that, listen, I'm motherfucking Tom Brady. You just in the
Yeah.
damn stand. You hold a clipboard. Ain't nobody coming to see you.
Yeah. Yeah. It was worse than that. He was like, you the towel boy. We could replace the towel boy. We could replace the water guy that gives the water bottles out. Like, he was like, you're that dude. Like, no matter how good of a job you do, no matter how much you make it so that the cases go well, no matter how much knowledge you have about the surgical procedures that we're doing, it doesn't matter. I can get somebody else in here to do what you're doing, and for cheaper.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, he was telling me, go do something for yourself. And man, let me tell you something. I thank that same doctor, the
Mm.
same one who thought he was telling me, nobody comes here to see you. There's no appreciation for you. I thank that dude. And he gave me the strangest look in the world. He was looking at me like, what are you thanking me for? I said, because you brought into recollection something that I should have known all along, which was, unless you're doing something for yourself, you're never gonna get the appreciation for what it is that you're doing. But at the
Mm.
end of the day, people are afraid. That's it. They're afraid of the unknown. So they drag themselves to the job every single day, over and over and over again, knowing the outcome, knowing exactly what it is that they're gonna get. They seen the last dude and the last woman that was there before them. They seen what their retirement looks like. They seen them come back to work time and time again. They see them retire. It's funny. A young lady was at the office that I was at last night. She retired, right, from SpaceX. She put in her time. She did her retirement. She had retired from a company before that, and guess what? She's still working right now. She's doing consulting work right now because what she has in her retirement package is not enough for her to be able to live off.
Wow.
So the outcome is certain. You already know what the outcome is going to be. Most people don't even know what it is that they're going to need, Dennis. At the end of the day, they're working for retirement, but they don't even know what the number that they need in retirement to be able to make sure that they don't go back to work. The money that they're putting away for retirement, they don't even track it. They don't know how much it's performing at. They don't know what interest rate they're getting back on their money. They don't understand how their money is compounding. They don't know whether they should be aggressive, or they don't know whether they should be, conservative. They have no idea. But at the end of the day, they're certain about one thing. They're punching that clock every single day so that one day they don't have to work no more. But they don't have no idea what they need to do to make sure that the day they stop punching that clock, that they don't have to come back. And I'm saying, if you live a life full of uncertainty, well, it's guaranteed. There's one thing that's going to be certain. You're never going to be able to do exactly what it is that you're doing. You're never going to be able to retire, ever.
Al Hati Dalda wants to know, can you help him get his Series 7?
I mean, it just depends on what it is that he's going to need. In our company, you know, we do Series 6 and 63. If you want to do direct stocks, then you know, but tell him he can inbox me and I'll
Okay.
talk to him.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get you Hadi, I'm gonna get you Yitshaq's contact information. We'll get to all that. It'll be in the description box, and also
There you go.
just look up Yitshaq Abraham on Facebook, or you know, on Facebook,
Instagram.
Instagram, all
I'm,
that stuff, and he'll get
yeah.
back to you. So let me ask you this, Yitshaq. So people who know me personally, you know, I've been in corporate America for a while, and you're
I like that.
absolutely right. Like I get more enjoyment out of doing this because the amount of appreciation I get, you know, from people who email me and call me and say, "Thank you, Dynas, you changed my life. You're doing, you caused this." And I noticed that I can't make an impact on society in corporate America the way I can just doing stuff like this and traveling. People who think they can make an impact, the same impact in corporate America as they can if they were to do something like this or something that you're doing or in a field like you're in. What would you tell them?
Well, I'll tell them this. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have challenges. You're going to struggle. Things are not going to always go your way. But I'll tell you one important thing, and you can take this one to the bank. You will succeed in time. But it's just like in anything, man. You know, it's funny because I was talking to my wife. You know, she's reinvented herself a million and one times.
Right.
She used to be a hairstylist. She had a health and beauty line that she had up before, and now she's doing artwork. And I'll tell you one thing,
which is fire.
Which is fire. That's right. And that's I'm her husband, but I'm telling you, it's fire. And I'll tell you one thing. If day one she would have stopped, she would have never saw what she's seeing right now. But you see, what happens is people are 3 feet from gold and then they give up. People are right there about to pop in success and they give up. Why? Because the people that they surround themselves are people who do not want to see them succeed. I think that's a notable point. That's a point I call a notable point. When you are talking to other people about your hopes and dreams and they are shooting you down, they're not really shooting you down. They're shooting themselves down because they're saying to themselves, if this dude goes out there and does it, that's going to make me look like I should have been doing something for myself too. I should have been following my dreams too. So what is the thing that they got to do with you? They got to tell you, don't do it. Go back to work. They got to tell you, you know, you don't know nothing about that. They got to tell you, play it safe. You got job security. You're only 10 years away from your retirement. They got to tell you all of those things, because if they encourage you to do something like following your dreams and you make it, then they have to say to themselves, I could have done it too. Yeah, they got to say to themselves, I could have done it too.
Yitshaq, let me ask you, do you regret, Yitshaq, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you, if you want to share your age?
Yeah, I'm 40.
LA, Hollywood, so, you know, I know you guys don't like.
Yeah, no, I don't have no problem whatsoever. I can't hide nothing. You see all this gray hair. I'm 48 years old, man. Yeah, I was born in 1970. I was born on the cusp of a change of an era.
Let me ask you, do you regret not making this jump early in your life?
Oh, hell yeah. Of course. Yeah, of course. You know, I think about it all the time. But here's the most important thing. You know, I can't spend too much time thinking about that.
Right.
You know, I got to spend more time thinking about what am I going to do right now. Right? So I could have wallowed in the fact that I didn't do it when I was 20. Right? I could have wallowed in the fact that I didn't put in those reps when I was younger. But I'll tell you what I did do when I was younger. I laid the foundation for what I'm doing right now. I laid the foundation for what I'm doing right now, which allowed me to be able to do something that I could not have done. have done if I didn't lay that foundation, which was make sure that I always find mentors. I always find mentors. And in this, I found a mentor too, because I didn't know anything about financial services. I didn't have any background in so on the onset, I could have went, just like the gentleman had asked, I could have went and got all of my series license. And well, you can't get the series without being with a brokerage house. That's why I wanted to talk to a brother. But I could have got a whole bunch of different licenses, but it wouldn't have taught me anything about doing business. But having a mentor, now I get the value of that mentor's years of experience. I get to ask them all of the things that they would do differently if they knew better. And that's what I tell people. It's so vitally important to have someone who can share with you information on things that you can avoid the minefields. You can avoid the problems in business where you would definitely go through if you didn't have somebody guiding you through all of the situations that you didn't have to go through.
Now, finding a mentor, Yitshaq, you know what? I've read growing up, and I'm still growing. I remember some of the first people I sought out for a mentorship. And I'll tell you the story. I used to personal train at a gym in Athens, Georgia, right?
Yeah.
And I had a client I was training. This is during my time when I was pursuing my acting and draws model career, very heavy, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, I told the brother, he was an actor. He played in, I think, the first 48, had a small role in that. And I told him, I want to be an actor too. He's like, okay, no problem. I'll work with you. So he calls me one day and says, hey, there's an audition in Atlanta. Come with me. So I come with him. I audition, he auditions. And then the guy that auditioned us said, hey, is this your son? He was like, no. He's actually my personal trainer, and I'm helping out some. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And then he said, well, since you're experienced, how about, you really bring him in and help coach him out in regards to acting. You want to know what he told the white man? You want to know what you're shocked.
Yeah. I could just imagine.
He said, you know what? I can't give him all my secrets. I'm like, are you serious?
There you go.
I'm just like, are you serious? And this guy, I mean, I hope he's okay, but he wasn't doing the best. I mean, he was about, it's just like, come on, bro. Like, you're not going to be with us much longer. I hate to say it like that, but it's just come on. Like, and that really hurt Yitshaq. And then I had a couple of situations where you just reach out to brothers, like I ain't gonna lie. If I see a brother rolling down the street, when I was doing sales in Atlanta, selling insurance in LA, doing whatnot, and I saw a brother who looked like he had his stuff together. And I'm like, hey, brother, I'll treat you to lunch. Can you just show me or tell me what you do? And brothers wasn't really like, it was just on that. I got mine, you on your own, young blood.
Yep.
How do we as Black men find, I guess, mentors who are worthwhile?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can tell you the most important thing is to check the dossier. That's the first thing. But the second thing is, it's not just the younger men finding a mentor and older brothers. Sometimes, and like I was speaking about earlier with the young brother Razaki, he's mentoring me on the web with internet marketing. I don't know anything about this stuff. Facebook, Instagram. I mean, look, you're mentoring me right now on this broadcast that we're doing right now. What people have to understand is that the mentor that you're looking for does not have to be older than you. The only thing that mentor has to do is have information that you don't have and is willing to share it. And I'll tell you, a lot of times what people want to be able to do is they want to be able to go too high up outside of their altitude. They want to go to the $1 million earner. You know, I have some people all the time. It's like, oh, I'm going to go meet Grant Cardone. You
Yeah,
know, I'm going to go meet Tony Robbins. And, you know, I want to be able to have them be my personal mentor. It's like, dude, these dudes are charging $10,000, $15,000 to be able to sit down and do a one-on-one with them.
for
I
30,
tell you,
30 minutes.
right,
For an hour.
you, why not go to the business owner? Why not go to the business owner who's been in business for, why not go to the business owner that's had his business for 2 years and talk to them about some of the things that they've gone through, talk to them about some of the struggles that they've had and how they've overcome them. And I'll tell you, that mentoring session will be some information that be readily useful. That'll be information that you can use that same day. And I'll tell you why. Because the experience that that person went through is more close to the experience that you're going to be going through. You're not going to be relatable to the Grant Cardones, to the $1 million earners, to the people who's doing all. You're not going to be relatable to those cats. You know what I mean? You're going to be relatable to somebody who's in the same hemisphere that you're in. You're going to be more relatable to somebody who has got their stuff going. They might have went to a Grant Cardone. They might have went to one of their seminar sessions, and they have a lot of information that they've applied from it, and they can share that information with you to help apply it to your business. I think that's more of a mentoring situation that will work better than you trying to reach out to a person that's like way past your, you know, your area code. And that's, I think that works a lot more with brothers too. But I'll tell you the most important thing, along with asking what can that person do for you, I would ask, what could I do to help your business? What could I do to be able to help advance your business? Because I'll tell you, here's the one thing that most people are motivated to do is to help themselves. And if you come to a person doing two things, I'll tell you, you'll get so much more success than a lot of people are getting. The one thing is, come to a person being more interested than interesting. That means when you go to a person that you're seeking a mentoring, you want to ask them questions about themselves. You don't want to just be throwing up all over them talking about yourself.
Right.
You want to be asking them about what they did in their, what made them want to be able to become an entrepreneur, what made them want to become a business owner, what were some of the things that went on inside of their business that they struggled with, what are the 3 main things that they would change if they could go back to the beginning. Those are the kind of things that you want to be able to do, because most people enjoy talking about themselves. So if you come in just talking about yourself and talking about all the things that you want this person to do, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you go saying, hey, I see you have a viable business. Is there anything that I could do to be able to help, you know, grow your business for you? Man, that person will give you so much more than if you come in just asking, you know, with your hand out at the very beginning.
Let's see what shout out to everybody who super chatted. Bella Bagay, who's formerly known as In the Red. She changed her name like us, Yitshaq.
Okay, yeah, okay. Shout out to her. Shout out.
Chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. And she says, Dynas, you know, thank you for having such a great guest. And you know, I gotta make sure I'm offering value. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson too for the super chat.
O'Shea, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I have to ensure that, you know, I'm offering you guys great value, providing great value, so you guys will want to come and share with your friends, and we can grow this platform and all that good stuff. So I have to bring on some great guests, especially dynamic people like Yitshaq Abraham.
Man, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. I tell you, you know, the most interesting thing about it, Dynas, is, you know, you already you've seen my journey. I've seen your journey. Right. I'll tell you,
which is crazy. Like,
we wasn't the most likely, you know, we wasn't the most likely to succeed. We wasn't the graduate at the top of our class that everybody was saying that dude is going to be. But I'll tell you, the most important thing that I know for certainty, we're some of the hardest working cats that I know. And I tell you that will beat skill any day.
Any day. And let's unpackage that. But you know, me, you know, I played sports, so I was football, track, got a scholarship, and all that good stuff. I would say this: I've produced at pretty much everything I've done. You know, the draws model and acting. I couldn't take the racism and dealing with sassy all day and the racism. I just couldn't take it anymore. But I've done pretty well everything I've done. But you know, the work ethic. You know, as they say, the grind. How important is the grind? You know, I think people forget about that.
Hey, man, I'll tell you this, 2 things that you can control. Here's the notable moment again. 2 things that you can control: your work ethic or your activity, the amount of stuff you do, and your attitude that you have while doing it. I'll tell you, the grind is the most important thing. But here's the thing that I think a lot of people get mixed up. They get the grind mixed up with the hustle. And I'm gonna make a distinction today.
Go ahead.
From the grind, from the hustle. You know, the grind is that you're doing what you need to do to get it done. And that means you're doing the stuff that makes you uncomfortable. The hustle is when you're trying to do a quick way to get out of doing what you need to do to be successful. Those are totally separate things. What I'm doing here in San Francisco is the grind. Called the dirty. I'm doing what they call the basics, taking it to the basics. I'm like getting outside of the comfort zone and taking my ass out to where I need to be at to be able to get myself to that next level. So when people say, oh, I'm about that hustle, I tell them, you know, I wouldn't be so quick to say that. I tell people you should be about the grind. You should be about what do you envision when you think of grinding something? You think of smashing it up and making it to its smallest particle, which is keeping it simple. Keeping it simple at the end of the day is going to be the thing that's going to get you to that next level. Keeping it simple, talking to somebody who's done it before you, seeking the mentor, and to be able to have the repetitious grind, just doing what is necessary to do constantly over and over and over again until you get to that next level. I tell people insanity is not doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Hell no. Doing the same thing over and over, you're going to get a different result, because you know why? You're going to get better. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. A person who plays the violin, at first they suck. They don't play very well. But the more they work on the strings, the more they work on the same movements over and over and over again, they're going to get better. An artist, they're working on their brushstrokes over and over and over again. A salesperson, they're working on their ability to be able to talk to people and to be able to close sales over and over and over again. You're going to get better doing the same thing over and over and over until that becomes second nature, and then it's no longer awkward. It's no longer like you're feeling like, oh, I don't feel comfortable doing these things. No, in time, the more that you do it, track stars, I mean, here's a prime example, sports folks. You throw that football, you catch the football over and over and over again, you get better. You know, the only thing that makes you better at stuff is the repetition in time.
Let's see what else we got here in the chat room, man.
All right, let's get it.
Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Thank you so much for joining us. Please hit that like button. Hit that like button. And again, brother, I appreciate you from coming on. Admiral Medjay said he's right. Versatility is the key that's been Black folks' Achilles heel. For the longest, starting myself, I have a tough time imagining my life in Africa without possibility of messing with jet engines. Okay, so the brother works on jet engines, so he says he has issues imagining, you know, living in Africa but not working on jet engines. If he, you know, I guess you know what he's talking about as far as him not
identify his identity. He has sold himself that the only thing that he can do is work on those jet engines.
Right.
So his identity is tied to what it is that he does. When inside of him, he's not a engineer or a mechanic or any of those things. He wasn't born. The doctor didn't slap him on his ass and say, this one's going to be an engineer. This one's going to be a mechanic. No, at the end of the day, like the last topic we talked about, you can reinvent yourself. You don't have to just be what it is that you've been doing for years. You don't have to continue to identify with who it is that you are. But the only way that you're going to be able to change your identity is to be able to start doing something different, and start putting the reps in to get better at something else.
See what else you got here in the chat room.
Yeah.
To the person in the chat who wants a Series 7, they need to gain employment with a broker dealer. They will train you and pay for it. It can be done, but it takes a lot of confidence and concentration. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so we're gonna train you, we're gonna mentor you, but I'm gonna tell you what the industry does not do. So here's the standard. The standard in the industry is you have to. So with any of the series license, your securities license, you have to be with a broker dealer. But here's the thing that they're not going to do. They're not, if they pay for it, you'll be beholding to them. So that means if I pay for something for you, you can't go nowhere with it because I own it. So I'm the owner of your licenses, whatever it is that you have, right? The second thing is you don't want nobody to pay for anything for you. You want to do it for yourself, but you want the mentoring. You want them to be able to show you what it is that you need to do to be able to learn how to utilize those licenses that you have. But I'm going to tell you something, brother. In the industry that we're working in, the normality is they're not going to train you. Because just like you experienced, Dynas, somebody else who's doing the same exact thing that you're doing, they don't want the competition. So they're not going to train you. They're going to give you just enough information that you need, but you're going to have to go out there and learn the industry on your own, which is different than what I do in my company. Is I walk a person through and show them everything that they need to do to be able to be successful. That means from the beginning to the end. I'm not paying for your license for you, but because the two ways that I see that people are invested in themselves and in what it is that I'm showing them is the time that they give and their investment of their money. Now, I'll reimburse you your money after you put it up, because at the end of the day, man, I've had a lot of situations where I've financed for people and paid it forward for them, helping them to be able to create a business for themselves. But what I've found is that if a person doesn't invest time and money, they don't see the value in it.
Facts. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, they don't see the value.
Camille Gaynor Jones, this might be a little bit off topic, but it's interesting because you're from Harlem. The people couldn't participate in those brownstone programs because you had to already own property and you had to have $250,000 in the bank to participate. But weren't they selling brownstones in the 70s?
No. Oh yeah, sister. I don't know. You might be talking about a brand new program that they have, but sister, I was born in 1970. I'm talking about when them brownstones were burnt down and all you had to do is just go to the city and you could have brought them brownstones for pennies on the dollar. I'm not talking about going to the bank and getting a loan for the property. I'm talking about when there were no owners of the property and the buildings was on the city's books and nobody owned them. And you could have just went to the city, and if a person owned it and they had back taxes on it, you could have paid the back taxes, or you could have just paid the amount of money to be able to get the buildings. But I know people personally that went and bought buildings and renovated them. So yeah, there was a time when you could have bought those buildings. This is what I'm talking about, was seizing the moment, because the opportunity for doing these things it's not lifelong opportunities. So when you have an opportunity to do something, to seize the moment in your life, that opportunity isn't available forever. And we're seeing that in Harlem right now. Well, it's already done. They did the gentrification in Harlem. But what we're seeing right now, what they're doing right now as we're speaking, is in Detroit, they're doing the same exact thing. They're doing the same exact thing in Detroit. What they did was a bunch of folks bought up those buildings in Detroit, and then what they're doing is they're giving the millennials $35,000 if they'll live downtown in those places in Detroit for the next 5 years. So there's opportunities for people to be able to succeed and get it. But you know, you gotta be willing to, like the topic of today, you gotta be willing to go the distance.
Right.
You know, you gotta be willing to get outside your comfort zone. Like you can't be like, I'm from this place, you know, I can't go nowhere different. I don't know nobody else, any place else. Like that's not gonna do it no more.
Right.
You know, like we're in a global economy right now. You can't just be in the place that you've grown up for your whole entire life. And if you're not getting it in that place, you can't stay there. You got to go someplace else. You got to venture out. You got to be adventurous. You got to go someplace and try to make the situation better. Take the information that you have, you know, and go someplace else. I could have stayed in New York for my whole entire life, but there's other big fish in New York. There's other fish in New York that have already seeded themselves into different areas and have taken control of a large swath of the market. So I left New York and I started venturing out, and that's how I was able to meet brothers like Dynast and different people, because I ventured outside of my comfort zone. You know, I have family members who live in New York who never plan on leaving, who've been, you know, whose claim to fame is I'm a native New Yorker. Now the farthest distance I've been is Pennsylvania.
I was on 125th in Harlem when Sylvia's first opened, and I ain't going nowhere.
That's right. Them folks, but they don't own no property. Right. They don't have a business. They still punching the clock. They still hustling, as people, you know, as people say, they still putting the hustle in, you know, instead of going outside of where they're, if you're so good at what it is that you do, then you going someplace else will make you even better, because you'll be able to take those skills that you have, and I'm telling you, there'll be a lot of people that'll follow you because they want to be able to learn to do it just like you're doing it.
Absolutely. And then what we'll do, I'll read this last comment, and then I'll let you go ahead and close out, brother. The real Aaron Collins, he says he met you through a mutual brother, and he said you kept the company. He appreciates you taking the time out to so Aaron Collins, are you with Transamerica? Or no, yeah. What Yitshaq? What's the group?
My bad. Transamerica Financial Advisors, Wealth Financial Group.
There you go. Yeah. Real Aaron Collins. Well, reach out to Yitshaq and you know. Yeah. Yitshaq will take it.
Hit me up.
Yeah, just hit him up.
Yeah.
Yitshaq Gabriel. Hit him up.
As the young folks say, inbox me, brother. Inbox me.
Inbox. Yeah. But yeah, we'll go ahead and close out. Anything you'd like to share in closing, and also give everybody your contact information, Yitshaq.
Man, look, you know, I'm so appreciative of this journey. You know, I tell people every day, you know, what you're going to accomplish, the person that you're going to be is going to be so much more than the person that you are right now. Don't close yourself off to advancements. Don't close yourself off to becoming somebody different. A lot of people call it selling out and, you know, changing and all these other things of that nature. Don't close yourself off to selling out to your dreams. I don't want you to sell out to somebody else. I want you to sell out to your dreams. I want you to sell out to the person that you want to become, and sell out to the idea that the person that you are is not going to get you to where you want to be. And if there's some things that you need to change about yourself to be able to put you in line with becoming the person that you want to be, sell out to that.
There it is. All right, Yitshaq, and where can everybody reach you if they want to reach
out? So I'm pretty simple. Yitshaq Abraham at everything. YITSKHAQ Abraham, ABRAHAM at everything. So it's at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything is Yitshaq Abraham. I kept it clean so that, you know, people can find me everywhere.
Brother, once again, I appreciate you for joining us. Make sure you guys go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, Africa Personified on those same platforms. Also, go to searchforhuru.com, dynastmir.com, africapersonified.africa, and go to Amazon, search your name, Dynast Mir. Please buy a book, family. Till next time, Yitshaq will be back on Hopefully,
Oh, for sure.
but you know, Yitshaq, you're gonna be at least one time a week, once a week. You
Man,
got it
I'm
down
loving
on
this.
here.
I'm loving this. I dedicate that to you, brother. I definitely want to be able to do that.
All right, no problem. All right, everybody. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.